Hey, what's up, guys? Today we got another picks and predictions video. Super excited to make this one. It's been a minute since we made one of these videos. I've been wanting to make another one for a little bit now. So today we got another great slate of college basketball, another good Tuesday slate. So I'm looking forward to it. So with that being said, let's get into it. All right, so start off with a big time Big 12 matchup. We got BYU at Kansas. First time we've seen them square off this year. Kansas 6.5-point favorites. This is a super short-handed Kansas team right now, without Kevin McCullar again in this one. You know, we saw Nick Timberlake. He stepped up big time for Kansas against Texas in their last game. They're going to need that again from Kansas. They're going to need Nick Timberlake to be more the guy they were expecting him to be, you know, when they got him from Towson. He's not been much of a factor. He's going to need to be more of a factor down the stretch if Kevin McCullar is not going to be healthy. Because this, you know, we all know this Kansas team is so short-handed, and without McCullar, it's the depth is non-existent completely. So Timberlake's gonna have to be big down the stretch for them. But this game's gonna be really fun for a lot of reasons. BYU is just a fun team to watch in general. They get up and down the floor, shoot a lot of threes, play really fast. And Kansas, you know, is 3-point defensively, you know, kind of middle of the pack, but I think for BYU to have success in this game, they need to not be too reliant on the three ball. I think when BYU has been at their best recently, you know, they haven't been so reliant on the three, taking, you know, 31, 32 threes. They've been more, you know, using Ali Khalifa out of the big man spot to dish and, you know, cut into the basket, drive into the basket a lot more. And I think that's what BYU needs to do. They take the threes that are available, take the threes that are there and in rhythm, but don't just, you know, jack a ton of threes that aren't high quality looks, because, you know, to beat Kansas on the road or to stay close against Kansas on the road, they're going to need to be, I think, just more aggressive off the bounce. I think that's going to be Mark Pope's game plan. And with, you know, just as far as the depth goes, there's no depth for Kansas. BYU runs 10 deep. BYU has a ton of depth. It leads me, you know, I'm kind of leaning towards believing that BYU can go on the road and hang really tough here with Kansas. BYU, you know, gets contributions from a ton of different guys. They're a super balanced team. You know, Kansas relies greatly on a couple guys. So especially if Timberlake doesn't step up tonight, you know, there's no reason that BYU can't keep this game close and maybe even pull off, you know, the upset. But I definitely believe in BYU. So I think they can cover the spread here tonight. I just think their depth and, you know, the fast-paced style of play against the team that has no depth in Kansas just makes, you know, all the sense in the world to me. So I like BYU to cover the spread here. And so now let's move on. We got number 16, Kentucky at Mississippi State. This will be a fun one just because of the, you know, the opposing play styles. You know, Mississippi State is fantastic defensively. Kentucky can really score the ball. We just saw them put up 117 at Bama, which that's just, you just don't see that in college basketball. That's just crazy. Mississippi State's 3.5-point favorites today. You know, being at home, you know, you're going to usually get 3.5 at home. So that makes sense. But I just don't think Mississippi State's going to be able to score enough points to keep up with Kentucky. Kentucky's offense is really rolling right now. You know, you got Edwards, you know, playing great basketball recently. The freshmen are coming along right now. And you obviously got Reeves. You know, he's always putting up 20 a game. He's been so consistent this year. And so I just, you know, ESPN's got Mississippi State 59% chance. I definitely believe Kentucky's going to cover the spread. And I can honestly see them, you know, even winning this game just straight up, because the offense is just, you know, is just really elite for Kentucky. Obviously, they had the slip up against LSU recently, but overall, Kentucky's trending in the right direction, and they're playing a lot better. Mississippi State, if they are going to win this game, they're going to need a great offensive performance from Hubbard. You know, he's their leading scorer. They struggle to score the ball at times. If you're Mississippi State, if they are going to win this game, they can't let the game get into the 80s. They got to somehow limit Kentucky, you know, under 80 points for them to have a chance. Because earlier in the year, Kentucky won 90-77. And so it's just going to be hard for them to win if this game gets to the 80s. But I think it is going to get to the 80s. And Kentucky, I think, is going to beat probably beat Mississippi State. But I feel definitely confident they can cover the spread. And so now we got Texas at Texas Tech. Huge matchup in the Longhorn State. This is always a fun game. It's a good rivalry game, especially at Texas Tech. Their home court advantage is legit. It's going to be fun. It should be a heck of an environment there. You got Texas Tech 3.5-point favorites here, 68% favorites on ESPN. There's two main factors here for me. Texas Tech is extremely good team at home. Only one loss this year to Cincinnati by 3 points. And so it's just really hard to beat Texas Tech. And especially in a rivalry game, the crowd's going to be crazy tonight, I think. So that's a huge advantage, obviously. But the other thing is, I think Pop Isaacs is going to come out the slump tonight. He likes these big-time games. I've seen Pop Isaacs go crazy in some of these games. He's an inefficient player in general. That's who he is. He takes some questionable shots at times, but he's streaky. He's 21 of 87 in his last 7. That's horrendous, obviously. But Texas Tech's still 4-3. So I think as long as Pop Isaacs shoots around the 35 to 40% mark, if he can go, let's say, 6 of 14, 6 of 15 from the floor, I think Texas Tech's going to win this game. I'm expecting him to do that. He played really well against Texas early in the year. He shot 7 of 15, scored 21 points in that one. I think he's going to do something similar to that tonight. As long as Pop Isaacs doesn't go 1 for 10, 1 for 11, I think Texas Tech will be fine. So I lean Texas Tech. I think they're going to cover the spread here. I think the home court advantage in a rivalry game is going to be really important. And I just think Pop Isaacs is going to come out of that slump. And I don't think he's going to keep slumping the way he has, because if he does, it's going to be hard for Texas Tech to, win a ton of games down the stretch. They've been able to make it happen so far, but it's just not sustainable to me. So now the fourth and final game of the night, we got Nevada against Colorado State. Second matchup of the year for these guys. And then we saw Nevada win by 13 earlier in the year against Colorado State. Nevada was at home in this one, and that one, and they're on the road this one. But the 6.5 points that they're giving Colorado State is just a lot to me for, a game where the teams are as even as they are. Colorado State has had, the better season so far, but I just think as far as talent goes, it's pretty even here. I give the slight edge to Colorado State, but not enough to make up for this spread. I think Nevada is going to be able to cover and keep it within 6.5. So I like Nevada to cover here. The backcourt with fifth-year seniors, Blackshear and Lucas. I think they're going to, they'll be prepared to play on the road. They've played in plenty of hostile environments before. So I like I like Nevada to cover here. And so yeah, I'm excited for tonight's games. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.